Hey trainers, Rickstar here. Welcome back to the channel today. So today we're going to be diving into a hot topic that's been buzzing the Pokemon Unite community as a whole recently. It's the introduction of the draft mode and its potential impact on ranked battles. So I know many of us solo queue players have been looking forward to something new to spice up our ranked experience for a long time now. And I will say Pokemon Unite, it's been doing a pretty good job right now balancing the game. I know we just had this emergency Metagross nerf, so let's give them a round of applause for taking care of our game for once. So I'm just glad that this game's actually getting in the right direction. So February 27th is closing in on us very soon, so with that being said, just picture this real quick. You're about to jump into a ranked match, you're ready to climb those ranks, showcase your skill, but hold on, because draft mode is here to shake things up. Now, I don't believe most of the Pokemon Unite community is exactly ready for this new mode, but it does have its appeal. So let's just make this up real quick. Let's say a new release comes out and, I don't know, let's say it's Swampert or something like that, you know. Let's say Swampert comes to Pokemon Unite and it's completely broken, completely busted, and they hadn't nerfed it yet. So what's going to be great about draft mode is us knowing that a Pokemon like Swampert is broken. All we have to do is ban Swampert. Literally just that simple. Or, with that being said, if we know Swampert's counters, we keep that in the back of our mind just in case our opponent goes first and they pick Swampert, which will lock us out because essentially in draft mode there's going to be no more mirror matches. So no more Decidueye versus Decidueye, none of that stuff anymore. So one major concern is the potential restriction on the Pokemon choices in draft mode. So the pool of available Pokemon for each match may be limited, leading to, let's say, repetitive team comps, let's say. So in my opinion, this could result to a monotonous meta where only a handful of Pokemon dominate the battlefield. So like, check this out. For example, when Koraidon and Miraidon come out, which we know they're coming, let's say when they hit the battlefield, many teams are going to want to get their hands on it. So imagine if your team wastes their ban on something silly like a Mimikyu, because let's just say Mimikyu hypothetically gave them one of the hardest games, one of the most crushing defeats they could have had in their previous game. So now the enemy team, because we just banned Mimikyu, they're going to pick Koraidon or Miraidon, and let's say they pick Koraidon. Boom, they ban Miraidon. And now our team is nerfed because we don't have that power creep to add to our side. So, in my opinion, I do like the recent additions to the EX licenses. They're pretty nice. I like how the idea is, mainly the legendary Pokemon. I don't think Urshifu is an EX license, but Mewtwo, Koraidon, Miraidon, Zacian, they're definitely all EX licenses. So that's going to kind of add to the limited pool of Pokemon that could pretty much put one game or one team in another favor. I kind of find it funny how the Pokemon Unite developers know how cracked out the EX licenses are. It's kind of funny how you can play Mewtwo from beginner all the way to master and pretty much get hit with the Rude Awakening that you're really not as good as you thought because you were playing a broken character. So, you know, time to learn something new. So pretty much the straightforward way on how this draft mode is going to work is in the beginning of the phase where we kind of pick our Pokemon, that's going to be called the ban phase. So each team is going to be able to vote on a Pokemon to ban. So pretty much the Pokemon that receives the most number of votes for each team, that's the one that's going to be banned. So if everyone votes for Sableye, if everyone votes for your, let's say, Mew, you know, boom boom, that's 2 Pokemon banned. So neither team's going to be able to play Sableye nor Mew. And the interesting thing is, to me, is the pick phase. So in the pick phase, pretty much each team is going to be alternating which Pokemon to pick and play. So it's almost like playing dodgeball. Like this person picks a person, this person picks another person. You know, you're kind of like filling your team that way. So the very first pick is going to be the pick from the first player on the team. So pretty much, say they pick Urshifu, your team isn't going to be able to play Urshifu whatsoever. And then the second pick will pretty much be on the other team. And then the third pick, and then the fourth, so on and so forth, all the way to the last pick. So we're also going to get another phase. So we got ban phase, pick phase. Now this is the preparation phase. So pretty much each player is going to get roughly 15 to 20 seconds to equip their held items or battle items, you know, the stuff we need for the match before it begins. So pretty much each player is going to be able to see what team has what item. And that's going to be very, very, very interesting. Like, imagine if the opposite team has a lot of Pokemon on their team, such as Gardevoir, such as Glaceon, such as Espeon, you know, stuff like that. Automatically, you need to be equipping Assault Vest on any of your defenders. Literally, that gives you so much information now that you can see what the other team is playing, and you know, that's what's going to make this stuff a little more strategic, because you're going to be seeing all new types of combinations. It's not just going to be the standard, let's put on this meta item and see what happens, because we're actually going to know what our team's running, and that's kind of good for everybody. So another issue that I feel like draft mode is going to actually add to the game is the reduced flexibility in our team composition. So pretty much there's going to be limited freedom to select any Pokemon you want, you know. Pretty much the enemies could ban your Cinderace, someone else could pick Cinderace. Pretty much you'll be put in a situation, if you're that player that needs to play Cinderace every single game, you're not going to be able to play Cinderace. You know, I'm sorry to tell you. Your Scopeland Cinderace won't be usable. So pretty much those players are going to find themselves in a less than ideal situation. They're going to have to play a Pokemon that they've never played before, you know. So in my opinion, I feel like this is the best time to embrace other roles in Pokemon. So for example, I pride myself in being able to play Greedent so well. I don't believe I'll ever be in a situation where someone will ban Greedent, and if they do, I can easily place someone with more power creep such as Buzzwole. Any good trainer, they're going to be able to see their opponent choose 4 attackers, and immediately you know how easy the game will be. So with draft mode being introduced, there's going to be a higher likelihood of disagreements and conflicts within the teams, just in the selection process itself. You know, a lot of players, they may clash over the preferred Pokemon choices, you know. Some people may want this, some people may not want that. And that's just going to lead to increased toxicity. We already know how toxic this game is right now, you know. Lots of people AFKing and farming and all this sort of stuff, so it's negatively going to impact the overall experience of the game. So I remember back in the earlier seasons, people, they wouldn't be able to play the new Pokemon. I remember this specifically in the Sylveon meta, the Zacian meta. They wouldn't play the new Pokemon, so they'll literally just sit in the base and they'll literally spam thanks. Literally, this game made me literally hate the word thanks. But they'd either do that or they'd grief jungle the whole match. So I kind of expect similar results when the trainers who only play 1 or 2 Pokemon, who are only in the meta. You know, I still think there's hope in the selection phase. I recommend all trainers find either a defender or a supporter. Master them in preparation, just in case you have to round out your team composition a bit. I know that not anyone really likes to play tank that much, but literally that's the best role in the game if you embrace it. I have a video linked below if you guys want to check it out after this one on how to play Eldegoss as an all-rounder. I know that sounds crazy, but trust me, I put damage numbers on the board. So be sure to check that out after this video. But I believe supporters and defenders, they're going to carry the meta this coming season. For example, if the opposing team has a Dragapult and a Zoroark, you know, that's a lot of power, but boom, all you have to do literally is just pick Clefable. Boom, you play Clefable, you're a Clefable main, boom, it's your time to shine with gravity. Literally, you're going to be able to stop them in their tracks, and now you're a threat to the enemy team, you know. Stuff like that, I mean, it's literally what we need to do, and I recommend everyone just prepares themselves, you know. Draft mode is going to have its drawbacks, but it's also important to consider the potential solutions. The game developers, they can implement a more extensive Pokemon pool. I feel like they need to release 2 Pokemon at a time when they do new releases, or they just need to seasonally rotate the licenses, you know, especially the EX licenses. So additionally, I mean, if we want to refine the drafting process to encourage better communication and teamwork to mitigate toxicity, I feel like they need to come up with, like, I don't know, maybe add more chat features or something. Just different things where everyone's on the same page. I know in League of Legends, they got different queues. So for example, in League of Legends, if I was a supporter, instead of me just queuing up into a random game where they may or may not need one, I can literally queue up into a game where they're specifically looking for a supporter. Now, with that being said, I feel like that'll be better for junglers, because you never want a game where you got 2 junglers pitting against each other. Who wants to do this? Who wants to do that? Because you know that Dragapult that really wants to go jungle, he's only going to do maybe like 30k damage. So I feel like that'll be able to better avoid conflict. So even if we do have a bad jungler, we literally queue in a lobby where they needed us in specific roles, so we can help carry them a little bit if need be. So I do believe draft mode does have the potential to both enhance and disrupt the ranked experience. Personally, I'm very excited for draft mode. I feel like this is what the game has needed for a long time. I believe as a community, it's going to be crucial for us to work with the developers as far as communicating how to kind of find that balance, because I want there to be strategic depth, but I don't want any of the fun being sacrificed. I don't want any of the diversity being sacrificed or anything like that. But I don't know. I'm just glad this game is where it needs to be. And also, I just want to say that I thank all you guys. We're at 1,000+ subscribers, and we're only growing. And I thank all you guys for always tuning into the live streams on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So, I'm just going to ask everyone, what are your thoughts on the draft mode of Pokemon Unite? Share your comments and opinions below. And don't forget to hit that like button for more Pokemon Unite content. This has been RSRickstar, and happy battling.